Are you fed up of having a house full of toys that never get played with and spend most of the time strewn across the floor? Well, watch this little video and I'm going to share with you my simple tips for organising your toys that will actually help your child play with them much better. And hold on to the end because I've got a little freebie for you too that I think you'll really enjoy. I'm Claire, I'm an early years specialist and a mum to 4-year-old Mason, and I am here to help you play at home with your babies and young children. For the best advice for playing at home with babies and young children, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video every Thursday. If you're getting fed up of the kids saying that they're bored despite having hundreds of toys in the house, by the end of this video you will have 5 simple steps that you can put into place straight away that will help you organise your toys, make tidying up time much more manageable, but will also help the children to play with the toys that they already have. So first of all, we need to make sure that every toy has a home, it has a space to go to. And the reason for doing that means that, number one, your child knows how to locate it so they can find it when they're playing, and also they know where to put it back when they're tidying up. So all those things contribute to your child becoming more independent and more confident when they play, but also helps them to remain focused when they're in the middle of an activity and want to find something to add to their play. It means they can do it by themselves without relying on you to ask where it's gone. When it comes to toys, less is more. The less toys they have to choose from encourages children to be more imaginative and creative in the ways that they play with what they've already got. When children have too many toys to choose from, it actually makes the decision really hard for them. It makes it hard for them to concentrate, for them to make a decision, and you'll also find that they may flip between different activities. So when you're sorting your toys, try to have a lot less available to your child. So let's have a look at how I organise the playroom to make the most of the space and the toys that we have. I find the Kallax unit from IKEA the perfect size for children's toy storage. And the reason is that those big boxes aren't too big. If a box or toy box or basket is too big for a child, you know what ends up happening. They're looking for that certain toy and they're digging down to the bottom, or they tip it all out. These are actually a really great size and I really like how useful they are and quite versatile as well. I'm going to show you how I organise mine. So in here, not only do I have all the toys and the cars and the vehicles, you know what it's like, I will also break up the box. So I use these Ziploc bags to have maybe sets of activities and things like that in, and also it's quite clear so they can see what's inside of there. Or I will also use boxes, shoe boxes and trays to pick out those smaller items that would normally fall at the bottom and get lost. And this is really useful to help your child locate those certain toys that they're always looking for. And now you join me down on the floor. As you can see, I've actually broken up, so rather than having the whole unit made up of these great big boxes, I actually really like to split it up. And I don't know if you've seen that in IKEA, they do actually offer these little drawer sets that fit into the unit, and they work really well. I then organise them so that I have one drawer full of all our little people and characters. Now it does mean splitting up sets, which I know some people don't really like, but it just means that when your child, say they're building with Lego or they're playing with their vehicles or something like that, and they need some little people, they will know that they can come and grab and that there will always be some little people in here. And the same goes for animals or even anything for Small World. So setting up any imaginative Small World play, then they know if they need some little trees or little signs, they know where to come. So it really helps them to locate things while they're playing, instead of having to break off from their play, breaking off their concentration and coming to you to ask you to find it for them. So it makes it much more easier to locate the items and also to then tidy them up away at the end. And then alongside the drawers, I also have open shelving too. And this is a really nice way of inviting your child to play with something a little bit new and a little bit different. In here, I've got these shallow trays and deep trays, again, all from IKEA, good old IKEA. And in here, I can have sets of toys or maybe books or something like that. And you can mix it up. You can rotate your toys on a regular basis, so it just keeps it interesting. And also, when it's open like this, it's much more likely to invite your child to come and play and have a try of things that they've maybe not played with for a while. And then finally, one of my favourite parts of the playroom, and something that's actually really well used, is this little writing tray. This is actually from Home Bargain. It's more for like a beauty set, really. I really like these because I like to use it for writing equipment. So I have a variety of pens, novelty pens especially, these like little tools and cards and things, different sized notepads, lists, crayons, and even the good old post-it notes, because we all know kids love post-it notes. By having this out, it just means that writing equipment is always available to our children, and it just gets them in the habit of making notes and writing for a purpose and in the right context too. So for example, if they're playing in a cafe and they want to write down their orders, they know where they can find a pen and paper and introduce writing in a really playful way into their learning too. So I would highly, highly recommend having something, maybe not like this, maybe just a tray or just some pens and paper out available to your child. I'm also a big fan of children having access to books all the time, and just having a handful, not taking over the lounge, but just a few available means that when it's a quiet time or they're wanting to have a bit of wind down time, it just encourages them to go over and pick up a book and read for pleasure, even if it's just looking at the pictures. So having just a few books, you might have a bookcase, a basket, or one of my favourite things I like to use is a bit like a cookbook stand. I really like this because it usually holds about 4 or 5 books. It makes them really inviting for them to play with, especially because they can see the covers at the front. Something like this will really encourage your child to go over, pick up a book and become a reader. Okay, so now we've done the kids' playroom, let me show you into my play cupboard. It is like an Aladdin's cave of play activity goodies. So first of all, when I'm organising my resources, the best thing, if there's one product I highly recommend, it is the Play Pockets. It's actually a shoe organiser, but I really like this one because it hangs on the back of the door and the clear pockets means that I can see everything that I need. And it's ideal when you're doing arts and crafts with young children and you need to be able to come and grab things really quickly. I've tried lots of different types, but actually this is my favourite. So I've put a link below if you want to get one for yourself. And then let's have a look in our shelving unit. I find by taking the time, a little bit more time to organise resources, it just makes life much easier for you as well. And it means that you can be a lot more spontaneous with your children when setting up activities, or when you suddenly think of something that you need, you can come in, you can find it straight away. You don't need to spend a lot of money, you'll be amazed at what you've already got. So things like fridge organisers I find really useful for having paints and Play-Doh available. I then also like to reuse these Tupperware boxes, you maybe get them from takeaways and things, for storing little resources like buttons and golf tees. And then I also like to reuse any Ziploc bags too for bits and pieces that I might want. Now then, this could be really useful for you. Pay attention. I love reusing the washing tablet boxes. You know, those that actually have the lockable lid on top? Now these are really handy for storing those things that you don't want getting into the wrong hands. Even if they make it into the cupboard, they still aren't getting to get into things like glitter or food colouring, or maybe pairs of scissors, those things that you want to keep away from children. So by reusing them and labelling them, it means that it keeps them out of safe reach of those little wandering hands. Because you know, when your back is turned, there would be glitter everywhere. And we all know how hard it is to tidy that up at the end. So by having a really well organised play cupboard, it will just help you be more spontaneous with your play and also know what you have and make you realise just how much stuff you have already without needing to go out and buy any more things. So now you know how I organise our playroom to make tidy up time much more manageable and also to encourage my little boy to play much better. But now you might be thinking, all right, we've got that sorted. What's next? How do we actually start playing with my child? So For you, I have created this free ebook download. The link is below this video. Click on that and you have access to my chunky guide to creating a playful home with lots of tips and tricks. And there's also a little checklist at the back because we all like a list, don't we? So make sure you click the link below to get your copy of my ebook. And now I would like to invite you to join our community of fellow parents, carers and educators, all with play at the heart of everything we do. It's a fantastic Facebook page that you can join and you will find advice, support and ideas because let's face it, we all know it's not easy, is it? So click the link below and you're more than welcome to join our lovely positive play community. And if you've liked this video, please let me know by liking it below and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with your fellow parent friends too. And why not drop me a little comment below and let me know if it's helped you in some way organise your toys. Thanks so much for watching. Happy playing.